everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Let's Dream podcast. This is your host, Casey Lucid, and we have our other host.
Hey, it's Lee, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well.
And today we will be doing another Dream Interpretations episode. Before we get into that, we do have our Discord live and running. If anybody wants to join that, it'll be in the description of the podcast. And you can always drop in, make a comment, talk to other people about dreams, or just let us know of a dream that you would want to share on the podcast. Feel free to let us know. And without further ado, we will get into the dream interpretations. What do you have for us, Lee?
The first story for today's dream interpretation is from user Sindo Kugram. They titled it, Trying to Escape Reality Dream? They had a flare that's reoccurring. So it goes, I had this dream where I would try to escape this sort of mental hospital type place. I'd eventually get real close to escaping, but then something would happen and I'd get caught. I'd awake within the dream and try to escape again the next time. I can recall a feeling of something or someone saying, "Aw, he thinks he can escape." It was cute that I thought I could escape the process. I even thought I did escape a few times, only to wake up back inside of this sort of mental hospital. Only it wasn't a true hospital. I'm not sure what it was, but there were other people there with me and sort of watching over me. I remember once I was almost escaping from this world, but I had a friend who decided to take a real lead role within the cage. I begged them to leave with me, but they were like, "This is what I've always wanted," so I left without them. I then somehow woke back up at some point in the escape process. This dream makes zero sense to me and seems bizarre. I've had this dream more than once, so now it's a reoccurring dream.
Okay.
So one thing that I've learned that about reoccurring dreams, so we all know like dreams sometimes try to tell us something, especially if it's something bothering us in the waking life. For reoccurring dreams specifically, it's usually something that you're trying to process, but usually aren't able to cognitively when you're awake. And it kind of comes out from your unconscious into your dreams.
I know that that's the case with me with like strong emotions. You know, if I'm like having difficulty processing emotions, I'll have something that, and it's usually never positive. It's always like negative. Like reoccurring dreams for me always seem to be negative. I don't think I've ever heard of positive reoccurring dreams. Wait. No. I have heard of a positive reoccurring dream. One of the listeners one time told us of a reoccurring dream where they dreamt of a hobo that had dogs that were made out of cabbage and cats that were made out of carrots. It was a really happy hobo, and he kept singing songs about friendship. I remember that very specifically.
That sounds very disturbing, but all right, I'll take your word.
No. It was cute. It was very cute.
Okay.
I made a cute illustration out of it. It's up on the gram.
Cool. So why do you think that if reoccurring dreams do happen, why do you think it's mostly negative?
Probably because, as you said, we're trying to process them. Because it seems to me that what is it called? It's like a cognitive bias. People seem to emphasize the bad and just kind of pass over the good when it happens.
Yeah. So why do bad things stick with us and good things don't?
Because it's more conducive to your survival.
Yes, right? So when we know something's bad, we try to, avoid it for the, staying alive, right?
Yeah. So it's your brain probably just figuring out the situation. But what do you think about like the content of the dream specifically though? Like why do you think they're having, like what do you think it means that they're having this recurring dream?
This one has a lot of sense of unfulfillment. Maybe there's something with relationships, but an overall feeling of like you're stuck in a rat race where you can't progress anywhere, and at the same time you're trapped. Yeah. And there's maybe some judgment and a little bit of shame in there, where like if you feel like you're being watched and you're not progressing in maybe society or people around you, you're kind of feeling stuck.
Yeah, honestly, I like the fact that they put in that somebody or someone or something said, "Oh, he thinks he can escape." It kind of reminds me of, I don't know why, but it makes me think of like The Matrix, like some kind of like software or like AI or like a robot is like watching this person stuck in the Matrix. Although I don't know why AI would exhibit emotion like that. But yeah, it's advanced AI. We'll just call it an advanced AI.
What do you think?
That's exactly what I would say, is just maybe like being stuck in a rut and trying to get out of it, regardless of what it is, whether it's a relationship or work or where you live. I think we can all relate to that, though. We've all felt that at some point or another.
Yeah, I would say like if this person's feeling like they're being judged which, there's certainly that. I get a sense of that, and that's kind of what if you feel like you're judged, you feel like pressured or ashamed and stuff, So
yeah, and then that increases, that compounds the feeling of wanting to escape.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's a difference between being somewhere that you don't like necessarily, but know that you need to make it work, and then you're somewhere that you don't like being, and then it adds judgment on top of that. Yeah, it's a bad combo.
Yeah, so for reoccurring dreams, I'd suggest looking at if there's like a certain theme currently in your life that you might not be aware of, but like just notice the next time you're in a situation you kind of feel bad, and maybe that might be it when you're around a certain person or someone around you.
Agreed. Yeah, well said. Okay, so off to the next one. The next dream is from Random Land User. Random Land User 589. Okay, I have recurring dreams of taking the elevator in my building and ended up on a different floor from the one I pressed the button for. Instead, I land on some bizarre floors. Some of them are like nightmares, while others are pretty interesting. And they added some examples. So one time, instead of getting to the ground floor, the elevator went a couple of floors further down. When I got off, I was in some weird underground complex where people were just hanging out. It was pretty weird, and I really can't explain it. And then another example, once again, instead of riding to the floor, I ended up a couple of floors further up, but basically just like a regular construction site, and I could see the entire city once I went up on the roof. And in the third example, I ended up in the construction site again, except the place was like a gigantic abandoned house / construction / apartment from some random horror movie. It got pretty scary and dark, so I wanted to leave, and at that moment I just run into a worker. He says to me that his job is to look after this place and keep it somewhat in order, and that it was unsafe because things live up here that I don't want to meet unarmed. And that's that. Very cool. Very, it's like a short story. That reminds me of something like a Neil Gaiman would write as a short story or something. What do you make of it?
So I assume this is reoccurring because this person gets on the same elevator every time, and then...
another reoccurring episode.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a reoccurring dream, I mean.
Yeah, so they get on this, I presume, the same elevator, and then they press a button, and then they go up to a random floor, and it's all weird.
Yeah. What do you think do you think that's a metaphor for something? Like them shooting for something, but then like over or under shooting their goal?
I don't know if it'd be that literal, but I mean, I don't really know what to make of like an elevator experience in a dream too. And then when you do get off, it's like this random bizarre experience. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely weird getting out. Like, for example, I remember my grandma used to live in this 15-story building, and I remember one time I was riding up to her apartment, but then I got off on the wrong floor, but I remember thinking it was the right floor, and it took me like a couple of moments to realize. I actually like went and like knocked on the door, and I'm like, oh crap, because like all of the floors were like set up the exact same way, and when I knocked on the door, because it looked like the exact same door, I was like, oh crap, it's the wrong person. So it's a very weird, I mean, it's an easily explainable situation, but at the same time, while you're in the situation, it like kind of catches you off guard. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to this place. Nope, no, I'm not. What just happened?
Yeah.
So I especially like how the construction site evolved. Like the first time they got to there, it was interesting, and then the second time they got to there, it was like there was a clear sense of danger. So maybe if I had to like really kind of like reach for a meaning here, I would say that maybe this person was going somewhere, and the first time they went there, it was interesting. The second time, it was somewhat dangerous.
Well, it's a different floor, right?
Well, no, he said ended up at the construction site again, except the place was like a generic abandoned house construction from a random horror movie. So they said that, yeah, they said they ended up at the same place again. Like the first time it was interesting, and the second time it was scary. So I don't know. Maybe just something in their life that they went to once and then again, or something that happened or that they did. Second time it was scary.
Yeah, so there's like this large sense of danger ahead, right?
Yeah.
Like they're being told, hey, don't go in here unarmed. You know, what would happen?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of want a continuation of these dreams. Like, okay, what other floors you got in here? Let's see. It's almost like a elevator of your mind. Like, how deep does your mind go? Like, what happens down there?
Oh, spooky. You know, so both experiences are pretty contrasting, right?
Yeah. No, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so this person had the same dream, but the first experience was kind of leisurely. The second experience was very more dangerous.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they did feel danger, or what, did they just like they were just, told, and then they're like, okay, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like it reminds me a little bit of what was it, the movie Pinocchio? You know, when they first, like, all the kids go to that island and it's like, oh, it's so much fun, and all of a sudden things like slowly like creep up, like, oh crap, we shouldn't have come here. Yeah,
so maybe you're going to like a new place and your brain is all of a sudden telling you, hey, there's something weird. There's, be careful.
Yeah.
But that might just be perceived,
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's still.
Yeah. Okay.
It's worth considering.
Yeah, I think that's all I'd have to say about that one.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So the next story is from Mr. Mean Man Lol. This person also has a recurring dream, and their title is, why do I have the same recurring dream about the world ending? It goes, I don't have the same dream, but I have the same setting. And this time, instead of me ending the world or destroyed by technology, it was a battle between demons, humans, and angels. The dream was that I was stuck in hell, and I tried to get odd jobs. I got an apartment when I met Dante from the Devil May Cry series, and he and I became good friends. While then, I had a dream within a dream where I saw God planning his attack on hell. After that, I met a hell of a boss cast of characters in the apartment next to me, just playing poker, and they invited me over. We played, but then I saw Octavia from the show, and we fell in love, and while that happened, my dad was in hell, so I asked him if humans, demons, and angels can live together. He said no. So then I asked Octavia's father, Stolas, which he said maybe. Then, when the attack happened, Stolas took command of the demons, and Dante was fighting them as well. But I didn't want to fight for demons or angels. Octavia wanted to go with us as well. We went to the surface while fighting angels and demons, then we got to Earth. We tried to persuade humanity to fight for humanity, and get demons and angels to live peacefully with us. Many joined the fight for humanities, but many also joined the other two factions of demons and angels. But before the big battle, we tried to negotiate with both sides by inviting their commanders to a carnival. They didn't like each other, but the demons and angels kind of did. So then Stolas and God were trying to meet at a place to fight, and we were on our way there. Then we got to the place, and I saw Dante fighting the angels and demons, and they were fighting each other, and then we joined in the fray, and the dream cuts there. I think it's weird I keep having this type of dream. Can the end be coming for real, or is this purely symbolic? I mean, honestly, thinking the world's gonna end, isn't that too crazy if we're looking on the, what's happening in the world right now?
It's also not a new concept at all.
So, I mean, if we ask, like, maybe the Aborigines, maybe the world's ending, and this is the reality of it, and we all come in a big badass fight between all the mystics, I guess.
Or maybe we're all in the process of metamorphosizing into cybernetic human AI hive minds. I don't know.
I do like that they said this was like one of the dreams where the world ended, but this is kind of like a fight between humanity, demons, and angels, and the other times were like technology or even themselves ending the world.
Yeah, so I don't know. See, I mean, maybe the person, the dreamer, has some sort of a feeling of impending doom for whatever reason it may be. I think it's like kind of like self-reflective when something like that happens. It's kind of like, what's going on in their life? Do they think something might happen? Like, are they under stress? Are they under what's going on in their life that they think might maybe something that may be a threat to them that's making them worried? I don't know. What's your take on that?
I don't know if they're actually like, back in like olden times, there's like these doomsayers, which they would just go on the street and yell out, "Oh, the world's ending!" Like the guy in Y2K, Similar to that, actually. So just think about this person. I don't think they were worried. It sounds like they're kind of like going along with it, or they're ending it themselves, right? So I'm just curious about what is this person's relationship to the outside world,
Yeah, well put. That is a much better way. That's a much better way to put it. Like, what is your relationship to the outside world?
Right. So,
well put.
We can't control the pandemic that's going on right now, but we can control what we do. So maybe in real life, would this person feel like ending the world, or just they don't care about it? Is there certain feelings about the world that is kind of bearing on them?
Yeah. Also, I mean, so it's always interesting to read these because we don't know if this person is male or female or their age. If you had to guess, how old would you think this person is?
Oh, late 20s.
Late 20s?
Or maybe 30s.
Because of the Devil May Cry reference? Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe they're playing too much Devil May Cry or too many sci-fi games, because that can also impact you.
It's a reoccurring dream.
But that's right. It's a reoccurring dream. I don't know, man.
So maybe they feel this way, but maybe they're playing too much Devil May Cry to, like, process it.
Yeah.
So it comes out in the dreams, And then kind of...
Influences, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's a possibility. Any other thoughts?
I mean, just kind of like the other ones, what if it's reoccurring, what's going on in your life that's a pattern that may be influencing the reoccurrence of the dreams? Maybe switch up the pattern a little bit, see what happens. Take a vacation. Enjoy the world while it's still around.
Yeah. Definitely step into the world that kind of you bear some kind of feelings towards it, and maybe it's not as bad as it looks, Right, or if it is as bad or even worse, then I'm sorry to hear that. Sometimes it's like that.
Yep. Okay, and then the last dream that we have for today, I really like the username. It's a Southern Anarchist. Very descriptive. The dream goes, so they go, I seriously don't know what to make of this dream. So I had a dream where I was basically in the Suicide Squad with powers similar to the Hulk in terms of strength, but no healing factor. The main part I remember is my best friend was part of it, but fast forward close to the end of the dream, she refused to give up some luggage when getting on the plane, and she fell from the platform and got messed up pretty bad. Next thing I know, I'm walking with Amanda Waller in the hospital to see her, and she's in some kind of isolated box being treated by multiple different doctors. Something I distinctly remember about the box was it was separated into two sections. One had my friend, and the other was sort of like an isolated waiting room that Amanda Waller was sitting in. I noticed there was a gap in between the divider in the box that I can use to talk to my friend, and I remember saying something along the lines of, I'm going to get you out of here and away from this bullshit. After that, I sat down to sleep in the chair outside of the box, and when I woke up, she's gone, and so is Amanda, and I noticed there was a table in front of me that had an earpiece, so I put it in, and Amanda told me, you're going to go on this mission, or you're never going to see your friend again. And I was basically like, fuck that shit. So I went on the rampage till I was subdued, and I remember as I was being subdued, getting this feeling of fear and just sadness, like I'll never see her again, and then the dream ends. I remember feeling really depressed when I woke up from the dream, and also confused about the meaning, so I could use some opinions. Okay, what do you say?
So this person dreamt that they were kind of like in this superpower squad with like Hulk-like abilities. Their best friend was in a crash or accident of some sort. And the next thing they know that they're in this... Who's Amanda Waller?
Oh, that's the black lady. Have you ever seen the Suicide Squad?
No.
Oh man, Amanda Waller's pretty badass. She has no superpowers other than like, I don't know, being extremely good at strategizing and like connections, and she's like the black lady that kind of like manipulates everything. She's like really extremely intelligent. She's like, I don't know, the head of state or something. Yeah. She's a politician.
Okay, so they're in the hospital walking with Amanda Waller, and they see their friend being treated in a isolated box away from other patients, and then so So then they're kind of like, as you said, like a politician, very manipulative.
Yeah, like sort of like a figure of authority figure.
And they do that to, the dreamer in this case. And it's like, what the hell? It just went on a rampage, right? So, I mean, how would you feel if, like, Amanda Waller took your best friend hostage and told you to, like, do it or else? Go on the mission or else, right?
Oh, damn. I would be like, I don't know, juice me up. Like, because I know she's got access to some kind of serum or something.
Right. Well, so in this case, there's, like, really only two options where you either defy or, like, you comply.
Well, it depends on who it is, too. Because I have, like, a couple of friends I'd be like,
Sure. But in this case, it's their best friend, right?
Best friend. Yeah, no, I'd have to do it. I would have to do it.
So you would go on the mission? You would comply?
Well, I mean, it's also kind of like, what's the mission? If it's like, take out a school bus full of children because, I don't know, for some reason they're mutants, whatever, I wouldn't do it. Okay. So it really depends on the mission. Anyway, but that's like...
Yeah, okay. Generally, if you're blackmailed or your friend's being held hostage and you're trying to and they're threatening you to do their dirty work for you, like, how would you feel, right? Yeah, no,
that's kind of crappy.
It'd feel bad. It'd feel shitty.
Yeah, definitely negative emotions.
Yeah. This person said that they woke up feeling pretty depressed and I mean, yeah, dude, that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, that is very... How old would you say that this person is if you had to guess?
Maybe young. Pretty young. Late teens.
Yeah. Late teens. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just...
That'd be my guess, yeah.
The sense that I get from it, and tell me what you think about this, but I kind of get I imagine that this is a relatively young individual, either in high school or college, or younger, I don't know, but someone that's maybe aware of their intelligence and capabilities, but not necessarily able to, I don't know, aware of their capabilities, but not necessarily competent enough to execute them properly. And then maybe they have a friend, similar age, and they have some type of an authority figure that told them not to do something or is imposing their authority onto them or their relationship with their friend. And it's there's negative emotions manifesting there. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Could be completely freaking wrong, though.
Okay, so it's similar to if you bring a friend over and then you guys maybe mess up or maybe you don't do anything at all. You're just playing around, but maybe your parents hey, don't play with that kid again. It's not good for you or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to that, similar idea.
Yeah, but it's come on, Dad, they're part of the Justice League or Suicide Squad. I need them on my team.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would definitely piss me off too. Or why can't I be with my friend? And why are you telling me no? Yeah,
no, I can see that.
So, I mean, I can imagine this person feeling really depressed from maybe they aren't allowed to come back to this friend, depending on how, attached they are to him.
Yeah, I could see that being now that you say it like that, I'm maybe they are younger. But either way, those feelings are still valid.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, I could see that. I like that explanation.
I mean, younger or not, this person did have a really hard, severe, feeling towards it. So it's going to be real for all ages, regardless,
Yeah, and it may not even be everything could be fine in their waking life. Maybe they're thinking something what if, how about this? Maybe they have a friend that they haven't introduced to their family or some kind of authoritative figure, and they're worried of that figure approving their friend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, and that's all the stories have today. And again, we're not really any kind of professional interpreters or anything. This is most for entertainment, but hopefully these kind of discussions will help you guys out and kind of have a different perspective on your own life, and hopefully maybe you guys see your waking life environment a little bit more and be aware of certain things that might affect your dreams in certain ways.
Yeah, and we always obviously, we're not like Lee said, we're not medical professionals, but it's good to share dreams. Especially, we've had a lot of people reach out to us that are really happy to have someone to share their dreams with, because sometimes it's kind of like an odd thing if you're not really into dreams. You know, it might be like kind of weird bringing it up to friends or family. But if you don't know who you want to share dreams with, feel free to let us know. Drop us a line, share it on our subreddit. That's going to be in the description, or in our Discord. We love hearing dreams. And thank you to everybody that's sharing them with us. And we will see you next time.
And if you don't want to share dreams, just keep it to yourself in your private journal. It's just as good, and it'll help you recall. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.